planning for 2021, COVID career and management accounting and strategy, CIMA is the way to go. But how do I resolve the emotional financial pain of multiple failed exams? I am Valentine T, lecturer and CEO of the Charter Institute. Join my special webinar event, Why CIMA, How CIMA, 12 December, 9 a.m. I'm going to address 5 key issues. First, the CIMA qualification and why employers have it. Second, why many pass first time and why some fail multiple times. Then, how to choose your CIMA college wisely. Fourth, our flexible CIMA study support system post-COVID South Africa. And fifth, your unique questions answered. Sign up now and get ready for CIMA 20. Webinar, virtual, online, so no COVID hassle. Now, mark the date and time once again. 12 December, 9 a.m. What's more, get 30% discount and much more. Register today by clicking on the link below.
All right, so that's we've outlined there why we invited you to come. I'm now have on my screen the 5 key issues that we're trying to achieve today. Number 1, like I just captured, CIMA and why employers love it, why many pass first time, and why some fail multiple times. And I know the pain of trying this college, you fail, try the other one, you fail. You sometimes wonder, is CIMA really for me? We want to address that today and obviously show you how we could assist you overcome those challenges. And there are a lot of CIMA colleges out there. We've outlined some criteria as we see it in terms of how you could go about. We know some of you would have attended other open days with various providers and you're trying to gather as much information as possible to make a decision going to 2021 as to what you want to do and with which college. Number 4 is now COVID time. The Lord is changing. This post-COVID which is coming 2021. How have we made our changes and how can we support you? Obviously, we'll look at questions and answers. Like you saw in the video, I'm Valentine T. I'm the CEO. You have me there on the screen. So in case you can't see my face properly, for those of you who have switched on the face view or the facial view so that you can save on data, that's me there on my screen. Those are my qualifications. I'm an Associate Chartered Global Management Accountant. I'm a professional project manager. I also hold a master's degree in business administration. I've been CEO of CharterQuest since 2010 when we founded the company. Right, so that's basically who we are, who I am. And so the very first thing I want to take you through would be the very first item of the agenda, which is what I'm flagging. Let me bring out my little pointer. Which is what I'm flagging here. Sorry. Right, which is what I'm flagging here. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of people who have signed up. Some people are trying to get into CIMA for the first time. Some people are already registered with CIMA. They know what CIMA is all about. But let me take this time to, if you're trying to know what is CIMA all about, this is going to be for you. If you have just registered with CIMA, you know what it's all about. You will still find this extremely useful because knowing this and translating that to answering exam questions in terms of how to study and approach CIMA, they are very vital tools. Okay, as a snapshot, first let's start with in the process of explaining the CIMA qualification, I'm also going to, it will become fairly obvious to you why employers love this qualification, why we teach it and love it also, and we teach it with a lot of passion. First of all, it's a SACWA accredited qualification. It is global. It's also recognized in South Africa. It's part of the National Qualifications Framework. It used to be part of NQA Level 7. It is now being revised to become an NQA Level 8 qualification. So there's a lot more I'm going to address. But first of all, let's get back to the basics. For those of you who know CIMA or CIMA case studies, you would have often found you pass or fail case studies by virtue of displaying 4 key skills, or some will call it 5. Technical skills, business skills, people skills, leadership skills, and the 5th one, which is part of the new syllabus, the digital skills. Okay, right. That is the essence of the CIMA case study, but I will not call it the essence of the CIMA case study. I will call it the CGMA Competency Framework. CIMA is a global professional body. Once every 5 years, they do a research to establish what are the competencies that businesses, public sector, private sector, NGOs, consulting sector, corporate governance community, investors, what are they looking from a management accountant, from a finance professional of tomorrow? They do that research, they update their qualification, and then they develop what is called a competency framework. So in a snapshot, here is what CIMA is really all about. It is preparing you to display this set of competencies. First of all, this is like a circle, but you'll be wondering, if I look at the circle, where do I start? Okay, you start from here. The foundation of CIMA is that you've been trained with the techniques of management accounting. So technical skills, or a strong technical grounding as a finance professional, as a management accountant. And by this I mean, we want to be sure that the bedrock of what of your know-how rests on the principles and techniques of auditing, principles and techniques of taxation, principles and techniques of management accounting, principles and techniques of financial accounting. We cannot say because you're a management accountant, then you're not an expert in financial accounting. So we ground you with a solid technical basis in all the disciplines of accounting, and obviously with a lot of emphasis on management accounting. So first of all, when we say you are a chartered global management accountant, it means that CIMA, as the world's most reputed management accounting professional body, and the largest one, has evaluated your skills and competencies, which is both you passing exams and submitting 3 years of work experience, and has found that your technical skills is very, very strong. Okay? But it doesn't end there. The competency says we don't want finance professionals who are only strong technically. Okay? This arrow then says, okay, this should be strongly anchored in business skills. We need you to be business savvy, to have strong business acumen. First of all, accounting exists because business exists, not the other way around. You can't say business exists because accounting exists. Accounting exists because business exists. So if we're going to build this finance professional of the future, whilst we give this professional a strong technical grounding, we must make sure that this person is very strong on business. You must have well-developed business acumen so that you can support business and not just end with the numbers. Gone are the days when we're told that accountants are bean counters. They can only add and subtract numbers, budget for things, and then it ends there. We want to make sure your technical skills is a strong support to business partnering, business transformation, business strategy, and all those things. You understand that well enough to know how your technical skills can immediately add value to that. Okay, so we want to assess you on that. We want to evaluate that, and we want to build a qualification that tests that very, very rigorously. So when you go out in the business world, employers will be able to say, yeah, this guy has got this all-around set of skills and all the rest. But it goes on to say, well, it doesn't end with you just being business savvy. Okay? It proceeds to say, don't forget that business is a collection of people. To run a business, you need to bring people together. These people are commonly called stakeholders. Shareholders who give you the capital, they are people. Employees who work for you, they are people. Government that regulates you or collects taxes from you is run by people. It's made up of people. You know, your suppliers are people. Your customers are people. So business is a collection of people. You have to be able to understand these people. These people, when they become stakeholders, they have interests, they have fears, they have concerns, they have short-term interests, long-term interests. They are motivated by various different things. So unless you are able to translate your technical skills in the context of a business and use that to understand people, all these people that make up business, suppliers, customers, shareholders, government, regulators, and be able to situate where these technical skills or how these technical skills can be deployed to influence them or make sure that their needs are anticipated and managed, then you are not a management accountant. You are not a qualified or chartered global management accountant. So there's a very strong orientation to people's skills within the qualification. It starts becoming clearly now to you how CIMA differs from other qualifications. You have a lot of other accounting qualifications which you spend 90% of the time on technical skills, 2% here. Very little, maybe 0.5% here and never anything here. If you look at CIMA, CIMA says, but we're not going to end with people's skills. We know finance professionals provide information for decision making. You make decisions at different levels, operational level, management level, strategic level. But why do we always provide information for decision making? Why can't we be the ones who make the decisions? Is it really correct that we must only prepare finance professionals to prepare financial statements, generate accounting data, generate information for decision making? The decision makers are the leaders of the organization. If you don't understand leadership, you don't practice leadership, how do you really know that all the data you are collecting would add value to leadership? So we want to make sure that we position you with a very strong leadership acumen, so that whilst you prepare that information to enable leaders to make the decision, one day the leader would step aside. One day the leader will retire. They shouldn't go outside and look for another leader when you are a chartered global management accountant right next there and you have been presenting information, or this leader could have been very successful and he is being promoted to another level. A large chunk of why this leader is being promoted is because you provided good quality operational strategic information, management information to make this leader to succeed. If he succeeds, you should succeed. If he gets promoted to the next level, you should be ready to assume that position. We don't want finance professionals to just remain those who provide information and then other leaders have to come and take it and make those decisions. So we want to develop this curriculum to have a very strong grounding in leadership. Now, if you look at this circle, the clock ticks like this, not like this. So it starts from here, the clock is ticking. Ticking, ticking. If you look at these cells, they're almost equal. You can almost see maybe 25% here, 25% here, 25% here, 25%. Or you can reduce it to 20, 20, 20, 20. Okay? So if you reduce it to 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, you only get to 80%. Where is the other 20%? Let's go to the center, digital skills. This was a new innovation in the CIMA 2021, the new syllabus. We live in a world where digitization is rapidly transforming industry. I'm sure you've heard about the word VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. There's a lot of transformation, robotics, artificial intelligence, machine learning. The rate at which technology is transforming adjacent industries, we've gotten to a critical mass where a lot of things that we used to do in the past have been automated. There are a lot of industries now don't need any debiting and crediting. They don't need any compilation of trial balances and financial statements. So digitization is taking over, transforming business processes, transforming finance functions. So we want to, and companies are building their whole business model. Let's come back to South Africa. We now have Time Bank. Okay? 10 years ago, we thought banks must be an infrastructure that has a building with ATMs. We can go in there and withdraw money, go over the counter. Now, Time Bank has just been launched. It's got no malls. It's got no infrastructure, no buildings. On an app, a bank, within 6 months, it has acquired almost 1 million customers. And traditional banks like ABSA and FNB, they are all laying off workers, closing down ATMs, closing down branches to reduce their cost base. So digitization, to bring it home, has rapidly infused the business sector. Now, we want to position management accountants to be at the forefront of that. Currently, computer scientists are at the forefront of that. A computer science guy understands computer science, doesn't understand business. A business guy understands business might not understand computer sciences. We need a professional who can marry these two. A lot of management accounting is a science. But if we can incorporate digital skills also to be at the center of our competencies, we can build this breed of finance professional who can oscillate, talk to the computer scientists, talk to the mathematicians, talk to the anthropologists, talk to the liberal science guy, talk to the MBAs, and bring these various facets together and add value in terms of how a business should, capitalize on technological changes, but at the same time defend itself from disruption from these technological changes. So CIMA has brought digital skills front and center. It is a key part of how CIMA intends to build this finance professional of the future. So you can call it 20, 20, 20, and then 20 or 25, 25, 20, and you say, okay, digital skills is a given. It's not even something that we should be negotiating with. All right. Now, if you look at around this circle, is what CIMA calls ethics, integrity, and professionalism. Okay. That is what makes you different. You can go to university, get a master's degree in management accounting, a PhD in management accounting, study all these things. You are not a professional. A professional is not only judged by virtue of the competencies and the knowledge that you have from your master's degree or PhD. You've gone through a rigorous professional qualification, which is standard, global in its nature. You belong to a professional body and you have subscribed to its code of ethics. The code of ethics is what brings us together, shared values, and make sure that in wherever we are operating, whether in India or in Canada or in South Africa, we are operating as professionals with shared values. Those values would include professional competence and due care, professional behavior, confidentiality, objectivity, in your integrity, your probity, your professionalism, all those things that make us, be respected by our clients, by the public, by our communities. We need to embed this in the curriculum. So it is the glue that binds this professional. So that is what the CIMA Competency Framework is all about. Now, you might be wondering, okay, yeah, this looks fine on picture. So, but what are the various building blocks? What are the things that I have to do? How does CIMA actually execute this on the ground? There is a CIMA Competency Framework, which is what I've just taken you through. There is also the CIMA qualification. That is the part most people know. Most people are familiar with the CIMA qualification. They don't understand that the CIMA qualification is derived from the competency framework. Now, so here's the competency framework. Okay, so let me get you onto the CIMA qualification. This is the popular one. Everybody knows that, all right, well, to do CIMA, this is the qualification framework. There are 4 modules here. Okay, BA1, BA2, BA3, and then BA4, which is certificate level. You get certificate in accounting. So you get CIMA certificate in business accounting, which is an NQ level 5 qualification. There are another 4 modules here, E1, P1, F1, and then there's a case study. So every level has 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is 3, 1, 2, 3, then the case study 4. And then you get a CIMA diploma in management accounting, which is at the operational level. There's a next process, 4 other modules again, 1, 2, 3, and the case study. You get to this, and all the way, you eventually get to the top after completing the strategic level. You submit your practical work experience. You remember to become a chartered global management accountant, you must pass all these exams, submit 3 years of relevant work experience, and then we can sign you as a chartered global. This is what most people know and understand. We have your practical experience assessed here, but you can obtain that anytime. You can obtain that even whilst you are still, if you look at this bar, it's telling us, you see here, it says practical experience. It's telling us you can obtain the experience even before you started studying CIMA, during your CIMA studies, or after your CIMA studies. But we are only going to assess it and sign it off, and say you are a chartered global management accountant when we are satisfied that you have passed all the various exams. Okay, that's the CIMA qualification. Okay, we get that. So what makes employers love this? Why do employers love this? Okay, I'm going to demonstrate to you why employers love it by maybe, let me come back. Many people look at this qualification and they're wondering, okay, I'm going to, let me put here revenue minus costs is equal to profit. So all I'm saying is, as a finance professional, the role of business is to make profits. Some will argue to maximize profits, even though more people would say to maximize stakeholder value. But the role of business is to maximize profit or stakeholder value. So when you join accounting and finance, one of the first things you learn is that because business is there to make profits, the very first financial statement you learn is the income statement. You learn how to calculate revenue, cost, and profit. Okay? And then maybe you learn about balance sheet. Or maybe you learn the two at the same time. And then you learn about cash flow. And then you learn about all different types of reports that rest on these three financial statements. So let me go back to basics and say, okay, if the end goal of business is to make profits, what is profit? It is the difference between revenue and cost. So let me put here, revenue minus cost is equal to profit. Okay. I need you to study this CIMA qualification structure properly. Here's a pillar. Let me go back to my pointer. Okay. There's a pillar here. There are all these modules here. They all connect to revenue. I'll explain why. There are all these modules here. They all speak to costs. I'll explain why. There are all these modules here. They all speak to profit. I'll explain why. Okay, I'll put in the most simple terms. Now, I could translate this revenue and use other words so that I could call this AV, call it add value, call this PV, protect value or preserve value, call this RV, report on value. Okay, so add value minus protect value is equal to reporting on value. I could call this make a vision, execute the vision, EV, report on the vision. I could call this plan the business, control the business, report on what's happening in the business, report on the business. Okay, so I've just played around with different words. The first one, revenue minus cost is equal to profit. The second one, your ability to add value minus your ability to protect or to preserve that value from being damaged will determine how much value you can report on to your stakeholders that you've achieved. The next one, your ability to come up with a vision minus your ability to execute that vision will determine how much results you can achieve as a businessman. The next line, your ability to plan the long-term direction of a business minus your ability to control how well that business heads towards that direction will determine your success. Okay, so this is success. This is the plan for success. This is the execution to achieve success. Now if you think about it, now you're beginning to see the framework for why employers will love this kind of qualification. Employers continue to say, we don't need people who only understand the numbers. They need to understand what me as a CEO, who is responsible, or the board of directors, or the exco, or the divisional team, or divisional committee that runs the division. We worry not only about the numbers. The numbers are mostly sitting here. We all know that the financial statements we present today, they are a reflection of how well things went in the past. We're only reporting now on the plans that we did 5 years ago and how well we executed that plan, it's only coming now. So we no longer need finance professionals who only come after to tell us how the numbers look. At the time we worry about planning for success, planning to add value, articulating the vision, we need accountants who know that back to back from the beginning, which is here, from this level, all the way to this level. When it comes to managing costs, executing our programs, and making sure everything runs orderly, efficiently, and in order in terms of how we planned it, we need finance professionals who know everything from the beginning all the way to the end. And in fact, they know how these various things interconnect. When it comes to reporting to stakeholders, remember we told you, stakeholders, apart from employees, all other stakeholders are outside the business. Customers are outside. Suppliers are outside. Shareholders are outside. Government is outside. These people are outside. They don't know what is going inside. Whether they would do business with you, how well they respond to your overtures, or if before customers buy your products, suppliers supply their products to you, they want to know what's happening inside. And the only tool through which we can tell them what's happening inside is through external reporting. We report on our success. Hence, this pillar is called. So we need a management accountant who knows everything about reporting, from the beginning all the way to the highest level. So if you look at these three pillars, that's what these three pillars is saying. Okay? Now, CIMA calls this enterprise pillar. Why enterprise? We are teaching you how to be enterprising. An enterprising person knows how to go after revenue, knows how to identify opportunities, know how to set up the right structures to go after those opportunities, knows how to capture a vision, knows how to add value, create wealth out of nothing, knows how to plan the long-term direction of a business. So we'll call this the enterprise pillar to teach you how to be enterprising. Now, why is this called performance pillar? A performance-oriented person knows how to control the performance of a business. This person knows that you can have the best plans. If you cannot control and execute and watch how well that plan is executed, you'll never get there. And we're not only going to control costs. So gone is the days when we consider CIMA as a cost accounting qualification. It's a management account. It used to be called 40 years ago cost accounting. It's now called management accounting. So we are accounting for management, not only accounting for cost. So yes, we might have said this is cost. Cost is not the only thing you control in business. You control productivity. You control speed. You control turnaround time. You control quality. You control safety. There are all these things that you need to control. So if you become this bean counter who only sees the world through cost and budget, you'd have missed the big picture. So we're not going to call this a cost pillar. We'll call it the performance pillar, which is to control cost and other elements of critical performance for a business. Safety, quality, speed, dependability, flexibility, efficiencies, all those things. So both financial and non-financial outcomes of a business success, we're going to learn how to control that here. That's what we call it the performance pillar. How well is the business performing? And now obviously, why is this called the financial pillar? Because we are learning how to keep financial records. You can see the financial reporting, advanced financial reporting, financial strategy. Everything here is about the money. How much money did we make? Have we accounted for it? Have we followed GAAP? Now we followed GAAP. We now have an income statement. We have a balance sheet. How do we find more money? So CIMA then says, okay, these are the three pillars. So a chartered global management accountant, if you look at, let's come back here, technical skills. If you draw this here, you find This pillar is 90% technical skills and a bit of 10%, a bit of this. This pillar is about 60% technical skills. The balance rests here. So if you are looking for where the technical skills are embedded, you will see them largely on these two pillars. Okay. So where do we learn about business acumen, people skills, leadership skills? That is what sets CIMA apart from a lot of accounting qualifications. Look at these digital skills. You will notice something here. E1, managing finance in a digital world. Yes, there is digital skills in a lot of all these modules, but the core module that situates how transformation is happening, business transformation, and the role of technology in business, and what the finance function must do to respond and support business, is largely sitting here in this module. Sorry, my thing is it's largely sitting here. Okay, if you look at people skills, okay, you see a managing performance. It's about people, relationship management, project management, managing stakeholders on your project. It's sitting a lot here. If you take leadership skills, a lot of, I'm not saying all, a lot of it is sitting here. Okay, this pillar combined is the foundation of business acumen, people skills, as well as leadership skills. Okay, I'm just going to pause a bit. My screen is a bit, let me discard and get back to, can you still see my slides?
Yes.
Okay, right. So I've cleared on my screen. Now, why do employers love this? I mean, think about it in the following way. Employers start by saying, you know, the Anthony hierarchy says there are 4 levels generally to run a business. Here's the board of directors and the CEO. Okay, here are the data capturers, or maybe the cleaners, or the drivers, or the lowest level jobs. The foreman and all this, they're sitting here. Okay, so in any business, you have what is called the transactional level. This is where the actual day-to-day transactions are taking place. You have what is called the operational level. You have what is called the management level, the board of directors sitting at the strategic level. Okay. Now, what happens here day to day? What happens here week to week or month to month? What happens here quarter by quarter? Okay. What happens here year by year or 2-3 years in advance? So in other words, if you're going to plan a business, we said this is about planning a business, control the business, reporting on business. Now, you cannot be an accountant compiling financial statements or a management accountant doing cost and management accounting if you don't know what the business is trying to achieve. This whole pillar prepares you for that. So when we plan a business, there's what is called immediate planning. What am I going to do tomorrow? What am I going to do next week? What am I going to do next quarter? What am I going to do by the end of the year or in 3 years' time? So planning happens at all levels of the business. There is immediate planning. There is short-term planning. There is medium-term planning. There is long-term planning. We all plan. The scope, the complexity, the duration of how we plan differs depending on the level where we are. Now, so CIMA has gone out to understand what employers are looking for. Employers want people who can operate at all levels. There are people who will be very good at processing transactions. Yeah? they get to this level, they can't operate. Some very good here, they get to this level, they can't operate. They get to this level. So what CIMA has tried to do is to say, okay, we can develop a qualification for you to love. It would speak to your planning, your organizational, your control, and your reporting needs. If you're going to plan here, you also need to control here. You also need to report. There's going to be daily reports. How much did we sell today? How much did we sell yesterday? So you plan to sell this on Friday. How much did we sell? Daily catch-up, those transactions. So planning is happening here. Controlling is happening here. Reporting is happening here. When you leave school with a degree or you got a book, usually we start from here. After some time, you are promoted to a supervisor or maybe a manager, you go here. Senior manager, you go here. Executive manager, you are now at this level. Now, the scope of your work is changing. The same competencies, but the level of complexity is altering. Here, you are taught how to plan and control and report in the immediate term, day to day. Here, you learn how. Now, if you are here, you have a manager who sits here. Your promotion depends on how well you support him. If you understand his challenges here through this CIMA qualification, you can add value to him. He's going to recommend you to his own bosses. His own promotion depends very much on him understanding the challenges of running a business at this level. This one's own promotion. So what CIMA has tried to do is say, okay, when we split this, we're going to say, here are the 4 modules. This, and this. If you do these 4, we can safely say you have what it takes to operate at this transactional level of a business. That's what this certificate level is all about. Obviously, if you do these 4, you have what it takes to operate at this level. Now, an employer then, when they are looking for management accountants, they know what level they want this management accountant to operate. Do you want him to join as a finance director? You know that because he's CIMA, he has studied the whole system all the way to the top. He can operate at this level. If you're looking for a guy at senior management level, you know that he's been certified by CIMA as having proven through a set of rigorous exams, both OT exams and case study exams, proven that he is capable to operate at that level. Now, so why wouldn't employers love this? Why wouldn't they say, no, I don't want a bookkeeper. No, I don't want somebody who did only this type of a normal degree. I don't want this type of, I don't want to call other qualifications that do not, do not rise to this level of sophistication in terms of tying finance and business and leadership and tying back the challenges of leadership in a way where management knows even when you walk into a door room for an interview, I'm an employer, I'm a lecturer, I can tell, give me 3 chartered accountants from different professional bodies. I can tell which one is a CIMA, which one is a psycher, which one, by virtue of how they approach things. So obviously, if an employer is looking for people to add value, to help them plan the business, to help them generate value, generate revenue, not just report on revenue, come up with invoices and follow up bad debts. We need people who know when marketing and product development, they are crafting a strategy to go after revenue. They are there, they understand the process. Nowadays, computers can generate invoices, so we don't need people who just generate invoices. Employers, when they look for that, they come and look for CIMA guys because they know. Obviously, if you're going through this process, you might be asking, okay, why is economics here? Look at this. Economics, finance in a digital world, managing performance, strategic management. What is the link between these 3 subjects? When you studied economics, you studied demand and supply. You study inflation. You study exchange rate. You studied market structure, perfect competition, oligopoly, monopolistic competition. Why are you studying those things in economics? If you don't know how the market works, you cannot see opportunities. You cannot see threats. So the first module to solidify your ability to understand how value is identified, created, how revenue is created and advanced, is business economics. That's why economics, if you're planning to achieve what? You cannot plan without knowing who are your stakeholders, who are your customers, what is the business environment like, what is the market like, what is happening to interest rate, exchange rate, demand and supply. You can't do a plan. Otherwise, your plan is an internal plan. So, because this pillar is about planning for success, we have to start that with economics to teach you how to understand the market. Once you understand the market outside, okay, you need to understand that you cannot go after that market without building an organization. So, to build an organization, this model used to be called organizational management. It's now called managing finance. You need to know that you need to build a strong when your business, your company starts trying to tap those opportunities they see in the economic environment. That's why everyone talk about GDP, unemployment, all those things. You can build a strong finance function to help the business go after that. Where does this come in? Now that you know how to see the business outside and how to manage a finance function to go after that, okay, remember that there are people. So you start picking up the business skills here. You start picking up the digital skills here. Then when you get here, managing performance. The performance of people. It is people who will, inside this business environment, your workers will be hired from the external environment. Your suppliers will come from here. And they are all waiting to see your financial results. So we need to now say, let's learn how to manage people, projects. Projects are the means. And the people on that project, the means through which we combine this and this. What does this have to do with this? Here, you plan where the business will be by 2023. And what you need to do to generate and sustain a competitive advantage. But how do you go about making sure that you generate your by 2023? You translate that plan into projects and delegate it to people to manage it. You can have the best plan. If you don't know how to mobilize people, the performance of people. There are employees on your project. Customers are involved. If you don't know how to mobilize and manage it, nothing is going to happen. So that is the link. Same thing, you come here, because it's about preserving value. If you make revenue, if your revenue grows by 30% and your costs increase by 40%, you are a bad businessman. Yeah, revenue is growing, but cost is growing faster than revenue. So what? You are not creating any value. So, we're going to start with the fundamentals of management accounting. It all starts with you understanding costing. What is process costing? What is job costing? All these various costing systems which can be deployed to estimate, measure your costs is here. When you move here, it moves from fundamentals, which is the principles, to the real management accounting. You move here from costing principles to costing systems. Okay? Here you're going to learn about what is job costing, what is a sunk cost, what is a fixed cost, what is a variable cost. Those are costing principles. Now you move to real costing techniques, costing system, job costing system, activity-based costing system, marginal costing system, budgeting systems, all the various systems that companies employ to translate these costing conventions into systems that will help plan, control, and measure costs. You start learning them here. You finish here, you go here. It now becomes advanced management accounting. It's now translating this system. Whereas the costing system here, they focus more on costs. Here you start saying, no, but you cannot only control your costing system. If you only control costs, then there's a problem. You need to control other dimensions of a business, like we talked about. Quality. That's why you start talking about enterprise resource planning system, SAP, Oracle, all those extra systems. I mean, SAP, for instance, if you're running SAP in your company, SAP does not just account for how much you have spent. There's HR going on in SAP. That's why it's called enterprise resource planning. It plans and controls all your enterprise resources, HR, marketing. So here, the systems move from costing systems to management systems. You learn about TQM, balance scorecard, Six Sigma, all those extra systems that are deployed to make sure they work with costs. And then you go here, why is it called risk management? You could even call it advanced management accounting. This part then says, okay, you can control your cost, control all these systems, they're internally focused. They are looking at what's happening inside the business. Okay. At the time you are planning this business outside, okay, you are identifying opportunities and threats. Economics teaches you how to find opportunities and threats. Finance teaches you how to build a finance function to go after this. E3 teaches you how to mobilize people to go after this. But here's the problem. There will be opportunities and threats you're going to find here. Sorry, let me clear my screen again. Getting a bit messed up. There will be opportunities and threats you're going to find here. Okay? Opportunities and threats. These three modules will help you. They tend to help you go after opportunities because opportunities is through where revenue will come from. So if you go after opportunities, you don't watch your threats, disaster is coming. So what does CIMA do? CIMA brings these threats and say, okay, threats will not just come from inside the business, through your costing systems, through your management accounting systems, through your advanced management and TQM systems. Threats also come from outside. So some of the threats you started identifying here, whilst you go after the opportunities here, we shift threats here. If you make a strategic decision to enter into a new market, you open the business to a strategic risk that regulators will come after you. So as you go after an opportunity, you potentially will attract regulators. If you make a strategic decision to open a factory in Nigeria, MTN decides to enter Nigeria, okay, then you have to comply with laws and regulation in Nigeria. That's a strategic opportunity they saw. It also creates strategic threats. Even if you choose to not go into Nigeria, if you see a new market to export your products abroad, that's an opportunity. But you'll be open to exchange rate issues. Exchange rate can go against you. So this risk management is saying to preserve value doesn't only end with controlling costs, setting the management, you also need to anticipate risks from outside and manage them. That's where risk management comes in. If you do all that, it helps you preserve value. And this becomes fairly obvious. Now, profit. Why do we call this revenue minus cost is equal to profit? Here you start learning what is fundamentals of accounting, debiting, crediting, how to compile an income statement, what is profit, what is the balance sheet. You start learning the basic principles on how to compile and report how well a business is doing. Here, you move it from basic principles to financial accounting systems. Some will say from journals to trial balance. Some say from trial balance to basic financial statements. Some now say from basic financial statements to group financial statement, consolidations. When your business acquires another business, that is a project. You need to integrate the business. You need to implement new advanced management accounts to control what's happening there. You need to consolidate that business into your financial statements. So whereas this is basic financial statements, this is now group accounts. Now this one then says, okay, financial strategy. You have a balance sheet. Assets is equal to debt plus equity. You can put here assets is equal to debt plus equity. You cannot go after revenue without investing in assets. You need to invest in assets. But to invest in assets, you need to raise debt and equity, debt or equity. So this model then says, now to invest in debt and equity, we need to look at your income statement, your group accounts. Shareholders will never give you money without knowing how well you are performing. So financial strategy then comes to what is the right combination of debt and equity to raise, to invest, to support this planning function. Obviously, as you go through, you obviously see, you pass this, you pass this, you pass this, you have to write a case study exam. The case study exam, this is an OT exam. I'm going to explain on the next slide. OT. The case study exam seems to integrate these three. Say, okay, I know you know this module. I know you know this module. I know you know this module. But problems in business don't come as a module. They come as an integrated problem. There is no problem that you can only manage by thinking entrepreneurially, or by thinking from a performance point of view, or by thinking from a financial reporting point of view. You need to integrate all those three. So CIMA has embedded these case studies to try and see whether you can integrate these three things in a real world situation and achieve value. Now, like I said, it should be, if you're thinking about doing CIMA, you should know that is what you're up against. You should know that if you're going to go through this qualification, submit your work experience. Employers, that is why it is one of the fastest growing accounting qualifications in the country. Employers love it for that reason. They know you think dynamically. They know you understand numbers. They know you understand business. They know you understand people. They know you are able to lead. The qualification has prepared you to achieve that. That is why you increasingly see CIMA is going to agreements with CICA, CASAs who want to become CIMAs. They can write this final exam to become CIMAs. Okay, CIMA guys who also want to become CSA, that is why, because both CICA and CIMA, they've both understood that their qualifications have a strong complementarity. So in other words, if I'm CASA, I'm very strong on financial reporting, very strong on auditing, but I want to get into business. A lot of employers are asking for a business relevant qualification, experience, or understanding of business deeper than just reporting on the numbers. Employers are slowly recognizing that CIMA is what brings those skill sets. But similarly, we all know that CICA is the biggest accounting, CSA is the most popular designation in the country. It is still highly regarded. You know, it's South African owned. We're proud of it. It's a very good qualification. So there are still some certain segments that still rate the CSA as the top notch for the finance director position and all those things, even in audit positions. So that recognition also allows CIMA people, if you have CIMA, you can also write one board exam. You're exempted from, a first degree CTA. You write one board exams. You have this dual designation. There could be no better illustration of the love employers have than seeing why these two professional bodies have come together to complement each other and build finance professionals who are either very strong on the management account or the business side, or very strong on the auditing side, and they are more rounded when they go into the industry. So that is the story in terms of why we are passionate about the CIMA qualification. We strongly believe if you are online, you are thinking about whether CIMA is the way to go. It is my hope that the presentation here has helped you understand better why the CIMA qualification and why employers really love it. It's also my hope that you've noted some questions. I want to go to my presentation to the end. Then at the end, there's a session for questions and answers. I can give you a chance to ask any questions. If I have to come back to this slide to answer specific questions, I'll be happy to come back to it. Okay, now that is the first part of my item number one. That is the longest part. The other parts are not as lengthy as this. What is the next thing we're going to talk about on our presentation? Okay, I need to at the outset point out why many pass and why some fail multiple times. That's what I want to talk about now, which is my next slide. Okay, let's be clear. Okay, CIMA is not, if you are in it thinking that is one of those qualifications which you can just pass easily, it's a very challenging. First of all, it's a global qualification. Same exam all over the world, same standard. When you qualify with CIMA, anybody who is in India, in US, in Canada, of course, the same CIMA, you have the same standing. Okay, you could be hired from anywhere in the world because the same standard has been applied. So I'm sure you do realize when you start getting to global standards, you have to understand it is not going to be a Mickey Mouse thing. So there are a lot of people who pass this thing first time, but there are also a lot of people who fail. People write, the average person comes, Most will tell you, no, you can finish CIMA in 2.5 years. The average person finishes CIMA, if they finish, in 5 years or 6. Writing exams 3-4 times before they succeed. Okay. Now, every module has its own challenges, but what we've sought to do here is to just give you a snapshot. Okay. The things that I would say account for 80%, those who pass first time, what is it they do right 80% of the time? Those who fail, what is it they do badly? So we've tried to summarize the top 3 reasons, just to give you a sense. And these 3 reasons is what drives the way we design our CIMA offering, our study options, the learning material provider we partner, the mocks and all. Because we know that if you fix these issues, 80% of your problem is solved. Okay, right. So first of all, let's get out something clear. There are 2 types of exams for those of you who are new. There's objective test exams, there's case study exams. I've just explained here. If you go back to this is an objective test exam. The individual modules are objective test. Objective test. You will later see on our study packages how we prepare you for these objective exams. Okay, and then there's case study exams. So you pass this. You are not allowed to do this unless you pass these 3, unless you also maybe get some exemptions. Okay, so there are 2 types of exams. So we talk about when people pass and fail. We are referring to passing and fail these exams. Okay, objective test, obviously they're exams on demand. You can write anytime. It's not like some of those exams where they will say every June is time for exams. If you feel ready, you can go write. If you write, you pass, you move to the next module. If you don't pass, you can repeat it. You can take it as often as you want. It's called the objective test on demand. You're also going to see on our PC exam prospectus how we structure that and how we integrate that with what we do to help you go write your exams. There's also what is called case study exams. Obviously, you would know there are 4 case study exam windows. You know, there's a case study window in February. There is one in May. There's one in August. There's one in November. So when you join CIMA, you're planning to targeting to write your case study by one of these cycles. So if you are starting, let's say in January, you might be aiming to say, if I start operational level in January, you know, I pass this, then maybe by May, I can write this case study. Then in the second half of the year, I go here. If you are that hardworking and you are that disciplined, you can finish these 2 levels in 1 year. You can do this in 6 months, But you have to be very, 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 very disciplined and super focused. Very few people are achieving that. Okay. Generally, people start here in January, but the aim is to write this case study in August, which is about 9 months. 9 months is what we consider more sane. Anybody trying to pass, you know, you can do it, but I'm saying less than 10% achieve it. It's more insanity than the other way. We have candidates who have done it. We've won awards for producing students who have achieved that, passing all 3 levels in 6 months and passing everything in 7 days. I'm going to share that with you later on. But now, if there is one thing you take out of this, whether you join CharterQuest or not, yes, you might be attending our open days to decide between us and other providers. You might be attending to understand the tricks to go and learn by yourself. Take this. We are passionate. We want to spread this gospel. I am a CIMA qualified guy myself. The more people qualify as CIMA, the more our profession grows. So if you don't join CharterQuest, but you learn something from this and go and write your exams and one day join and become a CIMA guy, I'll see you in the boardroom. I'll see you in our CIMA meetings. I'll be so proud of you. I'll be even more proud of myself. So if there's one thing that you're going to take, is this slide. Okay. I'm sure you've heard about the movie The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Okay. I have almost tried to put for you, this is what I call the good, the bad, the ugly, common to both. What am I trying to do? I'm saying, okay, there are 2 types of exams: objective tests, case study assessments. Let's get clearly. When they say this is a competency framework, it's not a knowledge framework. Can you see? They don't call this CGMA knowledge framework. They don't call it CGMA skills framework. It's called competency framework. What is a competence? It's a combination of knowledge and skills. If they say you are competent, it means you got knowledge and skills. Okay. There are 2 ways of assessing skills. You can assess skills through case studies. You can also assess skills through work experience. There is one way of assessing knowledge, through studying the book and testing you on your exams. Okay, so here's what CIMA has told you. So how do we build a guy who exhibits competencies in each of these cases, apart from the work experience that he's going to submit? CIMA says, okay, we're going to have two types of exams. Our objective test exams, they will be testing knowledge. It's asking one question: do you know? Our case study exams will be testing skills. Can you do? There's a difference between knowledge and being able to apply that knowledge. So do you know? Can you apply what you know? If you pass these OTs, meaning you know, you pass KD, you mean this is a simulation of real work experience. They are simulating experience. You do, then you submit your 3 work experience, then you become a chartered management accountant. So let's focus on these two types of exams, keeping work experience aside, because that's something you get from your employer. Now, I've been teaching CIMA for almost 15 years. Part-time, full-time, evening, weekends, online, every mechanism that you have. Okay? I've got a team of lecturers, highly qualified, over 22 of them, deployed. Some are CIMA qualified, CFA qualified, ACCA qualified, teaching CIMA, some with 8 years, 9 years, 10 years experience. We came together and say, let's summarize all your very, very best students. When you got 80% pass rate, 90% pass rate, what are the things that you can draw as your top 3 reasons? It was amazing how you get 22 different lecturers to give you their top 3 reasons, and you all converge 99% on 3 things. That tells you that what I'm seeing, what my colleagues are seeing, is fairly similar. So out of that research, we've said, okay, what is the good? In fact, the bad is basically the opposite of the good. But let me just take you through. You see that I put practice, practice, practice. So now, in other words, we're saying one thing you cannot not do and think you're going to pass any of these CIMA exams, whether OT or case study, is practice. Okay? But I've given you 3 things that you need to watch out for when you practice. Those who pass first time, call it practice 1, practice 2, practice 3. For OT. For case study, similar. Let me just take you through. First one, I said different question styles. Here's what I mean. Those who do pass first time, they will always tell you that I practiced on many. I did not just take because I've learned about activity-based costing, because I answered one question right on activity-based costing. Then I know activity-based costing. No. I'll go and find 14 other questions on the same activity-based costing. And they will tell you, you can pass 3 questions on activity-based costing. The 4th one, just when you think that you've mastered activity-based costing, the 4th question on that same activity-based costing, you fail it. So those who pass first time, they will tell you that they try different question styles. Now, you may ask, what does this mean? In this type of training that we do, you can't just use questions from your lecturer. You can't just use questions from BPP. You can't just use questions from Kaplan. We all know that if it is Kaplan, they have a certain perspective, a certain style in terms of how they develop questions. If it's BPP, they have their certain style. You and I can be management accountants. My understanding and appreciation of management accounting is significantly influenced by the industries where I worked. If I've worked in the banking sector, I tend to see certain concepts in a particular way. If you have not in the mining sector, you will see it in different ways. So if I was to develop questions on activity-based costing, the way it is applied in the bank is slightly different from how it's applied in the mining industry. And in the exam, you don't know the scenario, the objective. They'll tell you ABC is a bank, they're trying to do this, pick the right answer. And you think that, no, but this is the right answer, only to find that, no, this is the right answer. The question that you practice at home, it was a question in the mining industry. Things are slightly different. So the first people, the good practice is they try different question styles, not just from one source. So if a school is providing you with training and only giving you questions from one source, then something is missing. Number two, why right, why wrong under OT? If you know what I mean here, we have a lot of these people who do very well in the past. They will tell you, even when I practiced, if I got the answer right, sometimes you practice this multiple choice, you tick this, you check the answer, the answer is A, you also select your answer is A. Most people think multiple choice is like multiple choice, drag and drop, true or false. You might think it's easy. It is not easy. It's a very tough exam. And by the way, you need almost like 60% upwards for you to pass. Okay, but here's the point I'm trying to make. You can practice something, you get it right. Don't stop there and say, oh, this is why I get it right, let me move on. You have to understand why you are right. Sometimes you find that the reasons why you are right is not the reason provided in the solutions to the question. Which means if there are 4 answers, there's a fairly good chance that you pick the right answer out of chance. So most people think, I got this, I'm right, so I'm fine. I'm not talking about question style. You can be studying only the same Kaplan questions. I'm not saying go and take BPP. It's different styles in practice 1. I'm talking about if you get a question right, check that the reason why you are right is consistent with the reason provided for you in the solution. If they are not the same, it means that you did not get that. It means if they throw another question on that same thing, you could get it wrong. Obviously, most people, when they are wrong, they go and look at, well, if the answer is A, then they select B. Then they go and spend time to show why is the answer B. Everybody rushes here. Yes, it's good to know why you are wrong. But when it comes to multiple choice objective test, you should also know why you are right. So those who do well would tell you that when I practiced, if I got anything right, I still spend time to know why I'm right. If I found that the reason why I was right is not the reason given, it gives me more reason why I must go back to question 1 and find more and more question styles on that same issue until I get it right. So those who do well, that's the second thing they can tell you. They do very well. The third thing is what happens on the day of the exam, practice 3. I said answer but flag. You see, some people will tell you, you go in there, you got 60 questions. You need to get 42 of them right. Okay? To almost put you in a good chance to pass the exam. You open the first question, okay? You're told on average you need like 2 minutes per question. You spend 2 minutes on that question and you realize, oh, this question is very difficult. Yes, the computer says if it's very difficult, you can skip it, you can flag it. Answer all the easy questions. So go through the ones that you can answer, flag it, jump. The ones that you can answer all the 30 easy, then you come back to the difficult one. Okay? Most people who do, they will tell you, often they don't do that, those who do well. I can tell you the time pressure is so much. By the time you spend 2 minutes on a question and then realize that question is hard, because you can't know if a question unless you've read it. So you read it, you read the multiple choice, then you start confusing, is it A or B? Then you realize, hey, this question is very hard, let me skip it, I'll come back. By that time, 2 minutes is gone past. Okay? You're not going to get back those 2 minutes. Now, you go to the next question. So unless you save time on the next question, so if the next question is another 2 minutes and it's a good question, unless you're able to answer in 30 seconds or in 1 minute and save 1 minute and the next one save another 1 minute so you can get back the 2 minutes necessary to go back and revisit that first question, then you know disaster is coming. Here's what people who pass first time, here's what they do. They know that when they read a question, they are not sure about the answer and they find the question difficult. They still select an answer anyway, but still flag it. You can select an answer, but still note it down to say question 5, I have to come back to it. You flag it. Because they know I may not have time to come back. Even when you come back, the 2 minutes you had spent, it's like if you're trying to do a trial balance, you're trying to balance your books. If you spend 1 hour trying to know where the books are not balancing, they call you on a phone call, you take a call. When you come back, you might need to spend another 1 hour to figure out where you left off. So when you come back, these people know that when you come back, you still have to spend the time processing that, and that time might not be there. So what they do is to make sure that the 2 minutes they've already spent counts for something in case they cannot come back. They mark what their common sense tells you, because usually you find that you can exclude 2 answers. Then you're left with 2. You're wondering, these 2, which one is exactly the answer? Sometimes you can eliminate. They'll say, you know what, my gut feel tells me is this. They pick that, but they still flag it. If there is time at the end, they come back and double check. If there is no time, the computer says 2 minutes, time is up. Prop, you are switched off. They know they had answered that question. It doesn't help you to leave questions unanswered. You give people who go in there, they come back, they say, when they say stop, I was still on question 40. But were you reading chronologically? Yes, I was reading the ones I could have was skipping. You can't skip a question. Mark it and flag it if you doubt. Don't go mark everything and flag everything, because at the end of the day, it's like you have to go back to everything. There will be ones that you know for sure. I know I practice this thing, you get that. The ones that you flag, so that is the point. When you answer every single question, but flag the ones that you have a bit of doubt. If you have time to come back, fine. If you don't have time to come back, you had answered it. Okay, there's a 25% chance. Every question has 3 or 4 answers. 25% chance you could have been right. So those who do well, those are the top 3 things that they do to do well. Let's shift to case study. Practice 1. This should be pretty straightforward. CIMA gives you a case study 6 weeks before the exam. You have to grasp that case study all around. If it's a bank, you need to investigate how banks create value. We've already told you that we are a case study. Look at this thing. Plan the business, control the business, plan the business, control the business, report on the business. Revenue, cost, reporting. This case study is trying to integrate planning, control, and reporting. Now, they give you a business. Most people, they go and focus, they're spending more time on the balance sheet and financial statement. Okay? The first paragraph is talking about the vision, the mission, the general, this background information. This case study will tell you about the vision and the mission is an integral part of how you plan the direction of a business. So you need to understand that you'll be tested on all these skills. So grasping the business, you have to understand what are the technical issues, what are the technical accounting issues going on in this business. Where does process costing fit in? Where does activity-based costing fit in? Where does budgeting fit in? Where does financial ratios fit in? Where does balance sheet fit in? You also have to ask, what are the business issues? What are the opportunities? This business skills is teaching you how to identify opportunities. What are the opportunities and threats that are going on in this business? You have to understand who are the people driving this business? Who are their customers? What do they like or hate about this business? Who are the suppliers? Why do they supply? What do they like or hate? What is the board of directors like? What is the culture of the company? What is the leadership style of the company? So you need to because a case study is testing these 4 things. It's not like here where you're doing OT. Everything here is just financial reporting. Everything is just cost accounting. A case study is testing all these skills. So what I mean, grasp the business all around, that's what I mean. Take that business, that case study, and that's what we do on a case study class. We break this case study down from a technical point of view, from a business point of view, from a finance, all those angles. Okay? So now, that's practice number 1. Practice a lot of scenarios, which come from many different angles, from technical angle, from business angle, from people angle, from leadership angles. That's how you're going to grasp this business. If it's a bank, go out and read real life stories, articles about banks, just to understand how banks operate so that you can understand this business. Okay? Those who pass first time, that's one of the first things they do. They grasp the business. Practice 2, learn how to identify the task. Okay? They'll give you a trigger, they'll give you a task. Most people just read the scenario. You must be clear. They give you a prison on the day of the case study exam. They give you a trigger, the new information that has come in. Okay? Sometimes the examiner, especially a strategy, they don't tell you here's the task. They just say the board is wondering about this. What do you think? You don't realize that is a task. So the next, you have to learn how to identify the task. And there are tasks, there are subtasks. Sometimes a task has 3 components. Those who do well, they are very good at this. Ultimately, I give you marks for identifying the task and focusing on the task and answering the task. Okay? That is the next area we need to do well. Item number 3, they learn how to apply the knowledge to the business. You know the business, you know the task, you take everything you've learned. By the way, you passed this OT. It means you got the knowledge. I tested your knowledge. If you didn't have the knowledge, you wouldn't pass this exam. You have the knowledge here. You have the knowledge here. All I'm saying is, take this knowledge that you have. Show me how you help this business plan better. How you help this business control its costs better. How you help this business manage its finances better. How you help this business manage people better. How you recommend for leadership changes to be made. That's all they're asking you. So you need to translate this into that. Okay, those who do very well, that's what they do. They spend a lot of time, and we've deployed our case study courses to make sure you have ample opportunity through mocks and application to teach you how to apply this. Okay, obviously the flip side of that, which is the bad, is the opposite of this. Okay, number 1, different question styles. A lot of people are asking. Number 2, those who the bad, they are asking, which is the best material, Kaplan or BPP? That's what people are asking. The answer is no, both. So if you have to try different question styles to succeed, you should never be asking this question, which one is better? We know sometimes it's about cost. These books are expensive. But I can tell you, if you're going to pass first time, you have to make that investment. So those who do badly, they are the ones who ask this question, which one is better, BPP or Kaplan, so that they can choose one and focus on. Doing that does not help you here. Okay? Practice number 2. Why right, why wrong? That's what I've flipped it around, missing the question root. Every question is testing a concept. Like I say, this concept is activity-based costing. Sometimes you get it right, you don't know that it's actually activity-based costing. So if you miss the root of a question, you cannot answer a question without identifying some call it the syllabus area, some call it the underlying question. If you're missing the root of the question, the particular concept which is being tested, you cannot get that question right, which is the flip side of this. Okay? The flip side of answer but flap is skip questions, hoping to return to the questions, and you never get the time to do the bad practice. So these are just 3. Is the flip of this. If you come here, grasp the business all around, pre-scene silo mentality, fatigue. Oh, I've read the pre-scene. Because you've read the 10 page of pre-scene, you think you know the business. No. The pre-scene is only 10% of the business. New information will be given to you on the day of the exam. You can't just read the pre-scene and see that is good enough. You need to look at scenarios, unanticipated things that are arising from the pre-scene. So if you become too silo mentality on the pre-scene only, then it's the flip side of this. Okay? Flip side, confusing the trigger from the task. It's another thing. Number 3, theory dumping. People just take the textbook, they are repeating the textbook. You need to apply that knowledge to the scenario in front of you. Okay, so I think I've gone a lot of this. I spent time so you really understand this. What is the ugly? Okay? Overconfidence. People come, no, when I was at varsity, I got a distinction in management accounting, so CIMA should be fine. Professional exams are very different from university exams or theory exams, academic exams. Don't be too confident. We've had people who have come and they are CASAs. They've come back trying to convert to CIMA and they failed 3 times before you sit them down to say, listen, your problem here is you're a CASA, so you think because you're a CASA, you know it all. CIMA is a different qualification. Overconfidence, you need to put in the hard work. Okay? Mindset issue on case studies. Stop thinking about what. You must always ask yourself. The what is sitting in the textbook. You must ask how and why. Case study is about how and why. So if you know anything, you don't know how to apply that thing. You don't know why that thing is applied the way it is applied. You can never pass a case study. So your mindset has to shift from what to how and why. Common to both, you must always practice under exam condition. Okay? What do I mean? If the exam is in 1 hour to answer 60 questions, when you do all these practices, you must be practicing to answer 60 questions in 1 hour. Sometimes you might find you've answered 60 questions, you got 50 right, but it took you 2 hours. You say, no, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. You go to the exam. You now have to answer 60 questions in 1 hour. You find that you end up failing. So all these practices must be done both with your coffee and whatever you're drinking, but you must also allow enough time to practice under exam conditions. Okay, so that's our take here. How to choose your CIMA college wisely. I'm going to bring a quick rundown here, and I'm going to end up with a pause. Now, if you're deciding where do I go and study, okay? Some people just go and look at price. Some people go and look at registration status. Let me put this out there, and I'm going to challenge you to go out and investigate the best colleges on CIMA. Okay. I have put here 3 colleges. I've withheld their names. College 1, College 2, College 3. I've tried to score these colleges. Okay? I put here others. The reason I put top 3 is there are 3 schools that account for almost 90% of the CIMA market in the country. 90% of the people who are passing and all the rest. 3 schools. Okay? There are all these others. So, again, I put them here. Here's what you look for. When you go into the website of a school, when you ask for information about the school, you can add additional criteria. Here's what you look for. Is the provider registered with CIMA? College 1 is registered. College 2. These are real colleges. I've put their names. The colleges are all here. CharterQuest is one of them. I'm not going to tell you which one of them is CharterQuest. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. So it's a draw. They all register with CIMA. What is the pass rate? Okay. Colleges will tell you my pass rate is this, my pass rate is this, my pass rate is this. You only judge pass rate which is published by CIMA. I can tell you my pass rate was 80%. You want to know 80%, was it for last year? Was it for last quarter? Was it for the last 3 years? Don't let the college tell you my pass rate was this. For which period? For which mode? Sometimes I say pass rate, I'm referring to pass rate at the strategic level. But you're interested in the operational level. So there are different types of pass rate data given out there. Schools tend to pick what suits and they report on that. Okay. What you need to take out from that is, for you to be a registered CIMA provider, CIMA would have already quality assured your pass rate. So if CIMA has not published the pass rate published by CIMA, and you think that you're going to take what the provider tells you on their website, you're making a big mistake. Now, for you to be CIMA registered, CIMA quality assures your pass rate. So all these top three, they are all CIMA registered. Yes, yes, yes. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. This one's not quality assured. Quality of lecturers, CIMA assured, CIMA assured, CIMA assured. So on these top 3, the top 3 schools, there is a draw. There is where some of the differences start to come in. Okay. In fact, I'm not sure if you are aware, just yesterday, CIMA has initiated these Global Excellence Awards, where every year, around this period, October, November, they recognize the best universities that have CIMA accredited programs, the best tuition providers, CIMA Students of the Year. That award was finalized yesterday in UK, beamed across the world. Colleges all over the world, they have to nominate their best students. CIMA goes through a rigorous process. Over 200 registered training providers around the world, 5 regions, 31 countries submitted candidates. CIMA will go through a sifting process and get to the top 10. And then the top 10, they are ranked and ranked until they choose the winner of the year. Now, College 1 just won, did not win the finalist, but won in the top 10 in the world. College 2 also won one candidate in the top 10. The winner was a school in Sri Lanka. College 3, nothing. Did not even feature in the top 10. These are South African schools punching at the global level. Score 1-1-0. This one has been given 0. Learning materials, you also have to ask, what learning materials do they use? College 1, they use Kaplan and BPP. College 2, BPP only. College 3, Kaplan only. Score 2-1-1. The reputation of the publisher. I'm sure you remember BPP and Kaplan. They are publishers in the UK. They also own colleges. So what is the reputation of the publishers? Please don't be fooled. Some schools will tell you, we're using this particular publisher. They have the best pass rates. It is the best pass rate of the school that is owned in the UK, not the school in South Africa that is using that material. Ask the school, where is your own pass rate, not the pass rate of the publisher. So don't be fooled. There are schools going out there saying that, oh, our material is the best, so we are also the best. No. Material is material, teaching is teaching. Kaplan is the officially recommended CIMA publishing material. BPP is also recommended, but Kaplan is one officially recommended. By the way, amongst this top 10, Kaplan also produced global awards. BPP also produced global awards. But here's the point we're trying to make. Don't let a school confuse the success of the publisher who is based in the UK and their success. Okay. But in any event, here's the rating. College 1, 2, 1, 1. Why 2 here? This college is using both. This one only uses 1, only uses 1. Okay, so you can read them. Study options convenience. All the 3 colleges, there are 3 main packages you can compare. Face-to-face, live stream, pre-recorded. Face-to-face is where you come into class. Live stream is where they beam. With COVID now, some people don't want to come into class. Live stream is where they beam as and when the class is going on. Pre-record is recorded classes which you can then download and go through. Now, face-to-face, they're normally evening, weekend, and full-time. College 2, it's got all this, but it doesn't have live stream. College 3, it's got everything. So College 1 and College 3, FT. College 1 has full-time, for those who want to study full-time. College 3 has full-time. This one does not have full-time, doesn't have this. So here is the score. Okay. Physical campuses. College 1 has 4 campuses, all in one province. 3 PC exam centers. College 2, 3 campuses in 3 provinces. College 3, 2 campuses in 2 provinces. Pearson VUE exam centers. 3 Pearson VUE exam centers where you write your exams. College 1. College 2, 2. College 3, 1. Here's the score. Pricing. For face-to-face, here's the combo price for self-sponsored student. 6,250 for face-to-face. College 2, 7,000. College 3, 7,500. Live stream option, which is this package. Here's the price of College 1. Here's the price. They don't have this package. Okay, here's the price for College 2. Okay, and this college also offers BPP kit. Pre-recorded video plus 2,499. This much, this much. These 2 colleges, they are very similar on price. Here is the scoring. This one has a least price. Pre-recorded video. So these are the study options. They've been scored there. We're going to publish this. We're going to put it on our website. You can go through. So take this and say, I don't know College 1, I don't know College 2, I don't know 3, but I know this data to be factual as of today. Yes, a college can go and update their website and change. Go into their website, check these things. You're going to find out who is College 1, who is College 2, who is College 3. Check all these scores and make your own decision. Who is the right college? Okay, to choose. We are there. Maybe we're going to tell you at the end who we are. Then you're going to find out who are the other 2. We cannot call the names of other providers. Okay, let me just be interactive a bit. Who wants to talk? Can anybody, which college do you think is CharterQuest? Okay, so I think I've spent a lot of time. Let me go on to the next thing. All right. No, so on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pause here. I'm told my time is almost up. The next item on our agenda was supposed to be our study options. I'm going to now invite the CEO who introduced herself at the beginning, Patience Mukonda. She's the Chief Financial Officer. I'm going to pause and give her a chance to take you through our face-to-face campuses, study packages, full-time, part-time, self-funded student, just to show you, because this webinar is about why CIMA and how CIMA. So we want to, this part helps you to really understand the how. How do we as a school, how can we help you, to get into this CIMA journey and to be successful. On that note, let me pause there. And Patience, are you online on your side?
Yes, I am available on my side, and thank you so much. Just before you
I'm going
go,
to come back. Sorry, Patience. I'm going to come back. If after Patience presents, I'll come back to close the session, give you opportunities to ask questions. So don't think I'm going away. I'm still going to come back. So over to you, Patience. Thanks.
all right, thank you, Mr. T. Just before you go, I wanted to just highlight something. There was a question from Tao. He asked, which other sources can we get various question style except for Kaplan or BPP?
Which
This
other
was when you were presenting on case studies and the objective test slide.
It's fine. I've noted that. Can I pick it up at the end when we do question and answers?
Okay, no, that would be fine. Thank you.
I've noted that question, so I'll recall it up and then address it.
Okay, perfect. All right, can you see my screen? I'm going to just start off with a short video and then I will get straight into it. All right, so this part of the presentation, I am going to open my presentation slides now. This part of the presentation, we are going to focus on the various study options, and we'll focus more in terms of the study packages CharterCrest offer. So I will just share my presentation. All right, so I will start with so we do have campuses in Joburg. We do have campuses in Pretoria. On our website, we do have this. So we do have the Sandton Rivonia campus. We do have the Sandton CBD campus, which is not far from the Discovery building. It's also a few minutes walk from the Sandton Power train station. We do have another campus in Parktown and in Pretoria. So if you are in South Africa in Gauteng and you're interested in joining one of these campuses, you will be free to do so. And I will also be able to answer any questions around all our study options. They're offered at all the campuses. It's only that for online students, they will be able now to join remotely. And our full-time campuses, we do have a full-time campus. Our Sandton CBD has full-time classes. Parktown has full-time classes, and Pretoria also has full-time classes. And we do have Also, we do evening and weekend classes at all the campuses. And moving on from the campuses, I would like to take you to our study options. So our study options, we do have these three options. So we do have what we call our TEP package, we do have what we call our EPOP package, and we do have our eCampus. So I will just go into detail a bit in terms of the TEP package. So we do have for the objective tests, which Mr. T has taken us through according to the CIMA qualification. So our CIMA objective test package is 4 face-to-face classes. Those are the ones we have under TEP and we do have under EPOP, evenings, weekends. I will take you through the timetable. The fees per module is what we have as 4375 as a combo fee, which is for self-sponsored students, and also it applies to the EPOP package. But what is the difference? So our TEP package is the one that comes with the full package, classes. You also get recorded videos, which I will take you through, and it comes with our first-time pass guarantee. The exam preparation package is different from this package because you do not get the tuition, the classes. You just come through for exam preparation, assuming that you would have already gone through the syllabus yourself, and then you just come through for exam preparation. We do questions. We are just preparing you for the exam itself. So that would be the difference between the TEP and the EPOP. So you do not attend the first part, which I'm going to go through now, the full tuition. Let's say your has 20 chapters. We will go through in detail over 3-hour sessions of those classes. So that is what you do not get under EPOP, but you do get it under TEP. The good thing also going into 2021, if in the event that you can't make it to class, you can live stream from home. So the same schedule that you would have been attending at campus, or it might be a bit different, you will then be able to live stream over a weekend or an evening class, which will have a schedule for that in our timetable section. So that's the good thing about this TEP package. Though you still have the option to come to class, you can still live stream and do everything from home as well. This is a benefit you get coming with the package. You don't need to pay any extra for that. So it's all in the same fee. You then get the exam preparation classes. So after tuition classes, we will go into the exam preparation, which I will take you through on our timetable as I reflect through that. Then Kaplan study text and a practice revision kit you also get. The only difference with an EPOP student is because you're not doing the tuition classes, you therefore will not get the study text, but you will get the practice kit because you're just preparing for the exams. And then online tests, you will get 2 tests and 1 final mock. I will show you on the timetable as well. And then you get access to our student portal, which you have access for a year, and it's also renewable. Let's say you finish the classes and you have not, or 1 year period of your access is now lapsed, you can still come back to us and ask us to renew. We will be happy to renew for you. You just need to obviously demonstrate to us you are ready to write exams and what progress have you made, and our team will gladly assist you. Video recorded classes, chapter by chapter. So these are the same class and the tuition classes here. So you will still be able to access these ones. You will get a home study kit, which is also, it shows you what will be covered each day, which is what you get as a TEP student. Interactive online support. You also get it as a TEP student, because remember, you will still need to live stream or speak to a lecturer in the event that you can't come through. So we'll have WhatsApp groups, a few different platforms to attend to. And then you still can access, we do have the bonus of the BPP practice revision kit, which is a bonus that you get under this package with extra questions. And you also get access to our online study portal, where you can then access these extra questions, which are online mocks. So this also comes as part of the access that you will have online. So it's more questions to practice. And as Mr. Nti was also explaining, these are the questions that you would need as you go through your objective test. You need to practice, do a lot of that to prepare you for the final exams. You then just find the EPOP package. You don't get the BPP kit, though you will get the questions because you are mainly with us for exam preparation. So that's more or less what you get under the objective tests. You can pay your fees, 20% deposit and the balance over 6 months as well. Our classes, they start every February, June, and September. So if you're planning to start in the early next year, you can then join the January intake, where you then start in February. Classes will be starting around the 27th. I'll also take you through the timetable. So let's say you want to join this package. All you do is to get onto our website, and let's say you want to join your classes in Pretoria. So you would then go through it, and then I'll just take you through the timetable quickly. So for Pretoria campus, semester 1, let's say I'm doing strategic level, TAP package. Probably I'll go for 3. Perfect. So you will find that these are now those 7 tuition classes we spoke about, which are these ones. So you're able to then have your first 4 classes, 3-hour sessions. You write a test, which is these 2 tests that you face. So the first test will cover the first 50% of the syllabus, so that we test your knowledge if you've understood everything we've gone through. Then we come back class 5, we go for Easter break, class 6, class 7. Then we test 2 online. Then we do exam preparation. We then the test, we do the final mock, and we revise it in class as well. So when we say then here that we've got 2 exam prep classes, these are the 2 exam prep classes, exam prep class 1 and exam prep class 2. When we say we've got 2 online tests and 1 final mock, then these are the 2 online tests and this is the final mock. So that's how your timetable then will reflect on to our study benefits. And let's say that you want to choose evenings or weekends, then you can see also the timetable. If you are unable to attend on a Monday, you can catch up on a weekend. If you are unable to do both, and maybe the class is running in Sandton on a Saturday, either maybe via their live stream, or you want to visit the Rivonia campus, you also have that option. So we are very flexible in terms of if you can't make it on a Monday. If let's say E3 is running in Rivonia on a different day in the evening, you just need to also communicate with the campus managers at your campus to give you access to Rivonia on that day. Then they will speak to our Rivonia team and then they grant you the access. It applies also any of the campuses from Sandton CBD to Rivonia to Parktown, so that we are very flexible when it comes to the classes. Then we have our case study exams. So because the approach to case studies on the how, it's much more different, as how Mr. Nti was giving us the difference between the 2 in the previous presentation. We also have packaged these study benefits differently for case studies and also for across the levels. Actually it's the same. It's only that you would then get the specific materials or the pre-seen for that level. So our fees, we are looking at 4,999, which is for the full course, which is our TEP package. Our case studies are normally always weekends. I think this is an update that we will do again going into 2021. It's not evenings, actually weekends. So we will then have weekend classes from Rivonia, and you'll find that we will do 2 full days tuition and exam preparation classes, which I think I need to open my timetable for Rivonia. I will also add the EPOP package so you can see. Okay, perfect. So the classes are a full day. So from 9 o'clock to 3 p.m. So this you find then it's 2 full days. Why are they 2 full days? It's because the pre-scene is released at least 6 weeks before the exam. So we only have 1 month, in essence, to go through everything after the pre-scene is released. In instances like in November, when the case study is new, and in May. Because now considering CIMA has the same pre-scene for November and February, is the same pre-scene for May and August. So our classes are structured to run about a month before the exam because of the pre-scene adjustments. But you find that in the February case study, May and everything, the structure is almost the same for the classes starting 1 month before. So you get 2 full days, these are the full 2 tuition days. These days, we then just focus on the pre-scene of the company. We analyze it in detail. That's what we do on the first 2 days. You find that a student doing EPOP does not have these, but a student doing TEP has got these. And then 2 full days of exam preparation. So you find that you will then join your TEP package here with 2 full days. And on these are now the exam prep 1. It's just split into 2. So you find that your exam prep 1, you do have it, and exam prep day 2, you have it. So you will then come through, do exam prep 1. We do a few mocks, and then we debrief them before you come back for your final mock. After you do your mock, your final revision class, we will then do a final mock, which don't want to come to campus. And the good thing is also with our TEP package, you can live stream from home. So let's say you can't make it on the day again, you can live stream. So you will come through to campus, either do the mock from here or you live stream. You do another mock after that, which is what we call a post mock. So just going back to the benefits, we will debrief a few mocks in class. You will get a workbook because the case study does not have a study text. So you will get a workbook where you go through everything when we analyze the pre-scene itself. This is the final mock, which we explained that you will get here. And then you will then get online support. Let's say if you are a TEP student, because you will also have the option to live stream the class. The home study kit, which also has the workbook and everything, you can also access that. You will also have interactive online support. And this is the bonus post mock, which we said you can get if you after you finish the last mock. It's marked, it's emailed. Just before you go to your final exam, you also get another mock with solutions and everything, so you can prepare ahead. So you then get, that's the difference between our packages, between the TEP and the EPOP. So the good thing is that you always have an option to live stream from home. And we also do have almost the same structure under our eCampus packages. As we said, we've got TEP, we've got EPOP, and we've got eCampus. So I will now take you through to our eCampus, where you can now see the various options that we have. Okay, so the eCampus study options that we have, we do have the same thing for the CIMA OT exams, and we do have the same for the case study exams. For the OT exams, you find that now we do have our live stream interactive plus, we have the recorded video classes, and the videos and e-course notes. Our live stream interactive, it's very similar to our TEP package. This is for someone who will not have the face-to-face option, but will just have live stream only. So this is probably for someone who's not in Gauteng and you want to live stream all our classes. You then have the chance to live stream everything. It comes with the books. So you've got the Kaplan study text, you've got the revision kit. You will then use the live stream class timetable just the same as the objective tests that we we went through. You will get the 2 online tests. You will get the 1-year access again. You get the video recorded classes, everything that we went through on our TEP package. The good thing is you also get the bonus BPP revision kit. So this is just like the TEP, only that it's strictly live stream. And if you also look, we've got ebooks. So you will get the e-revision kits, you get the e-study text, but you can always upsell and get our hard copy books should you want hard copy options. We do have then the recorded videos classes package. So this package, the difference is you do not live stream. You're only able to get the pre-recorded sessions of these videos. And you do get the study text, which is also online, the e-practice kits, which are also online. You will get the revision, the tests and online access. You should also get the video recorded classes here. This was just an update that we had. The home study kits, you don't get that. So here you actually get this recorded videos. My apologies for that. You should get the video recorded classes, but you don't get the bonus revision kit. So again, it just mirrors more or less the live stream, only that you don't have live stream videos. Then we do have the videos and the e-course notes. So under the videos and the e-course notes package, you find that now you do have the pre-recorded videos, the e-course notes, and you do have the access to the video recorded videos and the 1-year access, but everything else you will not have access to there. So these are the options that you get for the objective tests in terms of study benefits. The for just 150 because you will not get quite a number of benefits under this package. Is the same, almost similar to our case study exams. So with the case study exams, you do get, we mirror the benefits now on that TEP option that we went through for case study exams. So with the live stream option, the price is the same as our TEP package. You then get the live stream classes. But when it comes to the recorded videos, this package, the recorded videos package, you get the recorded classes. The only difference here is that you don't live stream and you don't have some sort of interaction with the lecturers. It's almost like you study at your own pace and after the videos have been provided. And then you can also get this option of the videos and the notes. The difference again is you don't get live stream, you don't get any mocks, you will only get access to the recorded videos, and you will get access to some sort of a home study pack with the e-workbook, which is from Kaplan, and the home study kits. So that's more or less the difference between the home study package, the videos, e-course notes package, the recorded video, and the live stream package, which this one is slightly a bit expensive from the 750s, 2,100, because for each case study, you have to get the specific pre-scene notes or the workbook for that case study that you will be focusing on in that setting. So that's more or less what you get under our videos and e-course package and the case study exams. Let's say also you are a gateway student and you're just starting your exams. We would then recommend that you maybe pick your objective tests, maybe one of these packages, so that you refresh before you jump into the case study, as how Mr. Nti was explaining on our qualification here. If you're a gateway student, we would always recommend maybe get our combo 4 with all the modules, or you also get a discount if you're a self-sponsored student. Get refresh these 3 before you jump into the case study, so that by the time you start to integrate everything, you have fully grasped what you need at this level. So that's why we would recommend you to get a package that comes with all the 3 options of the objective test that you would have chosen. And when it comes to, so that will be for gateway students. Some students also start CIMA at a case study level. They join via what they call the CPP program, the CSEP program. We would also recommend the same, because the students, they are required to join via straight into the case study. And we do have our gateway, which we have just spoken about. So that's more or less what we have. Then we have our full-time option. So this is an option for a student who wants to come through, study with us for the whole year. So they do also get the same packages as a TAP student, only that they have more classes than the others. They will have more or less, theirs will be split over 2 hours instead of 3-hour sessions. And then that package is for 30,900 for the whole year. The good thing about this package is that it will modules, and then you also get these 3 extra benefits, which is your computerized accounting, you get ethics and professionalism. You also have the option to be placed in internships. So it comes with a little bit of more benefits, because we are saying that straight from metric, a student should be at least start learning how to, use the basic pastel system. So this is actually a practical subject that they will do, and then they actually come out with a Stage 1 certificate. Ethics and professionalism, they actually join our case study society, where they actually start to manage a project. And then the internship is also something they go out to do. So this is more practical, because the students, they don't have any work experience. So we want them to start putting together everything they are learning into practice, and they start to see how others are doing it in the real world. Then we also do have our CICA to CIMA. If you are a CICA member converting, then you're able to come through this pathway. You can always get more information on our website. This pathway is managed by the CIMA office. So this is something that also you want to of your package. So just going into the pricing a little bit more now. Our fees, they do not include any fees to CIMA. So let's say if you're starting and then you need to pay your registration, your subscription fees, those are all excluded. And you would want to also view the PC exams. How much are these exams going into next year? We also have these. So on your website at the bottom here, if you just click there, you'll be able to then download our PC exams prospectus, and then you see the prices. As CharterCrest, we are also an exam, a PC exam center. So let's say you've done all the courses, you're now ready to book your exam. You just come through onto our website, get free code emailed, and then you can book your exam right here. So that is the other benefit that we do have. So as a student who wants to enroll, you want to get a quotation, or you want to get started, again, the same place, you will come through and you can get a free code emailed. We click get free code emailed. Whether you are self-sponsored or you are company-sponsored, you will have to select. Whether you are face-to-face or e-campus, you can then always select face-to-face, then you choose your campus and you choose your semester. If you are e-campus, again, we only have one e-campus, then you can choose the campus that you want to join. And always then you can choose through one of the options that we have, our live stream interactive, recorded videos, and the recorded videos and the e-notes only package. So you will go through. During the process, as a self-sponsored student, you are then able to select our various payment options. So you can pay 20% and pay the balance over 6 months, which you can then split through and structure at the end of this process. So you can also, on the next process, let's say I go to next, you can add any fees that you want to CIMA. So let's say your BA1 exam fee, F1, or any other module that you're doing, re-registration fees, case study exam fees, you can then always select those, and then when you go to the next one, and then you can always structure your courses. It's only that our online campus does not have discounts at this stage. That is more or less around the payment options, our flexible payment plans. If you're company sponsored, you're also able to ask your company to be addressed to the company, an invoice generated to your company, and get everything that you need from us. In the event that you also maybe would just want to buy books from us, you are also able to just click on our bookshop, and then you can always visit the CIMA category and buy your Kaplan or BPP books. Hard copy ebooks are also available, and you can just go through the whole purchase and checkout process. You can collect from Rivonia, Parktown, or Pretoria. So Rivonia, Parktown, or Pretoria. These are our three collection points that you can. And you can also check availability, which campus has, which campus doesn't have. And if we are running out of stock, you'll also be able to see that a few books are left. So if you don't buy, you might not be able to get those. That's more or less what I have. And I also know that we do have some new students who have just started CIMA. They want to get started. They want to see where would they be starting, how to get started. CIMA also has a process of getting your exemptions. So let's say you want to calculate your exemptions. You go onto the CIMA website on the link that I've just gone to now, and then you can then search your institution, and then you can put in your country. It will drop down and show you which exemptions you will also likely get when you enroll. So that is the good thing about that as well. You can get your exemptions calculated by CIMA easily, and once you get your exemptions, you see that, okay, I'm starting at operational level, I'm happy. You go in, you create student, register as a student. CIMA does not charge for exemption fees at this point. So all you do will be to pay the registration fee, which you can pay through us when you enroll. Or you pay, then you then send your documents to CIMA for them to assess your exemptions. So those are the areas where then we can support you with maybe paying your fees to CIMA, so that you can then send your documents and they process your exemptions, and then everything is done at that point. So that's more or less what I have. And because of time, I would have loved to show you our online campus, but as a student, once you probably from the CharterQuest website, once you have registered, we will send you access. You click on the login, you go onto the eCampus portal, where you can then log in and get started, register with your courses, which we will allocate to you within 2 to 3 working days once your enrollment has been confirmed. We are able to courier books to you. If you enroll and you are not in Gauteng, we can courier. If you have ordered the hard copy books, if it's ebooks, you also get them within 2 working days as soon as you enroll. Our campuses are going to be open until the 18th of February for those who would still want, 18th of December, sorry, for those who would still want to come through and enroll before we close. Classes will start end of February, but CharterQuest will be open from the 4th of January, should you want to also come through in the new year and finalize your registrations.